Hello flowers! This is a step-by-step tutorial on how to make a spiral makame coaster. It's a detailed follow-along video. You can always refer to the description below for the specific timestamp on how to do a certain thing. Along the way, I'll also give tips on how to make sure that your coaster is flat, with no gap in the fringe, and save as much strings as possible. Things that you must have: string, comb, and scissors. In this video, I'm using the 3mm cord, but you can apply the same technique to other cord size. Just need to make sure that your string is a single strand or twisted cotton cord, so it will be easier to unravel the fringe at the end. The following are not compulsory, but very useful to have: measuring tape, any kind of tape, I use masking tape, a flat surface, I super love to use a corkboard, and crochet hook or a chopstick. First, cut one 160cm string and 5 times 90cm string. If you don't have a measuring tape, you can estimate with your body. Your arm span is roughly your height, so if you're like me, around 160cm tall, you can actually cut around your arm length for the long string, and slightly more than half of that for the 5 strings. Take the long string and make a loop with the shorter end facing to the left. Tape the string to the floor or your flat working surface so it's more stable and easier to work with. Next, take one of the shorter strings, fold it in half, slide it under the 2 cords of the loop, fold the top down, creating a U shape, then pull the bottom through the hole and tighten it up. This is called a cow hitch, also known as lark's head knot. Make 4 more of these knots with the remaining shorter strings. Use your right thumb to press the knots closer together. Once you are done with all 5 knots, remove the tape. Now pull the longer end of the long cord to tighten the loop and make sure that all the knots are distributed equally, creating a small star-like shape. If you have a corkboard, it's time to use it. I like to work on a corkboard because I can pin the macrame to the board. It's very stable and very easy to work with. Plus, I can easily turn the board as needed. I can macrame while watching the TV on the sofa or when I'm waiting for an appointment, etc. It's very convenient. We won't be needing this short end of the cord, so let's tape it to the corkboard or any flat surface that you're working with. Now, let's start to create the spirals. The longest string is the holding cord. This is the cord that we will use to create the spirals. Bring the holding cord to the top of the cord on the right side of it. For easy reference, let's call this shorter cord as lower cord. Now, take the lower cord over the top of the holding cord, creating a number 4. Pull the end of the lower cord through the loop that was created. Hold the holding cord with your right hand and tighten the knot by pulling the lower cord with your left hand and pushing the knot towards the center with your right thumb. Bring the lower cord over the top of the holding cord again, creating another number 4 again. Tighten the cord, but not too tight, just the right amount of tightness. If you tie the cord too tight, your coaster can bend and won't be flat in the end. This is called double half hitch knot. This is a very useful knot that is used in most of the macrame projects. Now we do another half hitch knot. Before we go to the next one, notice the big gap between the holding cord and the next lower cord. Now we need to create a bridge to close this gap. How do we make the bridge? Cut double the length of the next lower chord. For example, if the next lower chord is 42 centimeters, let's cut 84 centimeters. Then, use this new baby chord to create a cow hitch or lark's head knot. Check out how the gap is closed now. To make sure that our coaster will be neat and flat, it's important to always make a new bridge whenever there's a big gap of 1 centimeter or a finger size. Now we're going to continue the spiral. Always make a new half hitch knot. Remember, holding cord go on top of the lower cord on the right. Then, make a number 4, pull, make a number 4 again, pull, etc. And yes, if you find a gap, add a new baby cord to create a cow's hitch or lark's head knot. Congrats! That's around 90% of what you need to know to make this beautiful coaster. We're going to repeat this process again and again and again until it becomes easier and easier for you to do, and it's all just flowing very nicely. I'll still show you the entire process in a super speed, but I'll slow down once in a while to give you tips along the way. Enjoy the happy flow! Once in a while, press the sides in, massage your coaster to help it get into the perfect round shape. Once you make more layers of the spiral, you can also add more pins along the way to keep your coaster even more stable. Now you might be wondering, when do we stop? That's up to you. I like my coaster to be 11 cm diameter inside with 3 cm fringe. With this corkboard, it's really easy to tell. I'll simply decide which circle will be the end of the coaster. With this string, generally I will end up with around 7 to 8 layers of the spiral. Of course, you can also use the measuring tape to check the width of your coaster and plan where you're going to end the spiral. If you know you're at the outermost layer of the spiral, when you want to add a baby cord, you just need to add double the length of your fringe plus 10 centimeters. For example, since my fringe is 3 centimeters, my baby cord will be 3 times 2 plus 10 equals to 16 centimeter long. I also like to mark the end with a pin so I remember my finish line. So let's continue, we're almost there. How do we end? Let's cut the fringe. I'm following the second to last circle on the cork board, which is 3 cm away from the last spiral. To close the coaster, I like to use crochet hook to bring the end of the holding cord through this last loop, or use chopsticks to push the cord in if you don't have a crochet hook. This way there will be no gap in the fringe as compared to other methods of closing your coaster. You can also do this before cutting the fringe. Then comb the fringe. You'll notice that after combing the fringe, the length won't be the same anymore. So trim it again for one last time. Remove the pins. Turn the coaster around, remove the tape, and cut the short cord. You just made yourself your beautiful spiral coaster. Woohoo! Not only that it's fun, it's also useful. Plus, your next coaster is gonna be so much easier to make now that you get used to it. It's a productive hobby. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope this is useful for you. If it helps, please like and share this video. Do subscribe for more Happy Flow videos. Hope to flow with you again soon, flowers!